Fight, 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 fight.
Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. Whoa, God, that was like radio, right? What's up, guys? Welcome to Law Splitting the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Mercado, Mercado Law. A small law firm in central Minnesota. Sorry about that. What is this? Random. Go over where you belong. The back of the bus. We segregate here. Small law firm in central Minnesota. How's it going, guys? How are you? What I thought about doing was just reviewing all of the reasons I was late, but you know why? It's because I'm, kind of garbage. Anyway, we're not going to do that. We've got a show tonight with a bunch of stuff going on. A bunch of stuff is happening right now, and we are going to talk about four things. Oh, is there reverb on? Sorry. Let me fix that. My bad. My Rodecaster was used for karaoke with my kids earlier. So you got to turn on the old reverb. But okay, here we go. Oh my God. So anyway, we've got some big stories coming, but we're going to start with a small story first. I don't mean to be insulting by saying it's a small story. It has nothing to do with the story itself. It's just that the story isn't actually developed yet. Hey, what's up, Rita Castillo? The story isn't developed yet. The story is a potential story, but it's being talked about by the decision makers in the story. One of them is a dear friend of mine, Joshua Moon, and we are going to talk about his proposal to bring a lawsuit against Epik LLC, the former web host of Kiwifarms, for defamation on behalf of Kiwifarms. This is an interesting concept, and we will be exploring it, throwing out some ideas. And I mean, I'm going to have to make some inferences because I'm not up on the up and up with the Kiwifarms and how everything works. So we're going to have to take some stabs in the dark and just kind of talk from a general standpoint about what a possible defamation lawsuit against Epik could look like based on the very limited information of the screenshot someone sent me of Josh's, I think it's his tweet. Is that it? Let me see. Well, there's the okay. So actionable defamation. His tweet isn't very much, but then I think someone sent me a screenshot of one of the post on Kiwifarms, which we'll talk about that as we get going. But yes, Josh of Kiwifarms.net is considering suing Epik LLC. Epik is the web host, EPIK, by the way, not Epic with a C, but Epik with a K. They're the web host for Kiwifarms, or were the web hosts. They seized the domain for a while, and Josh is alleging that they have committed actionable defamation against Kiwifarms. So we will talk about that. We'll talk about potential hurdles of the lawsuit, and there definitely are some. Even though, the people involved may not think there are too many, or they may. I don't actually know what the chatter about it is. I don't really care. We're just going to analyze Josh's post, talk about it a little bit. And, I do think it'll be an interesting story if it develops. The problem with it, just from the outset and conceptually, is that it'll cost a lot of money, and Kiwifarms will have to fund it. Probably. They don't have many allies. I don't know if the EFF is going to be super into representing Kiwifarms. I think Josh has maybe had trouble getting sort of the pro bono representation from the, organizations who bring lawsuits on behalf of certain principals rather than just clients. I think he's had trouble getting them to help out in the past due to maybe the controversial nature and rumblings about Kiwifarms. And that's what this is ultimately about, right? Rumblings about Kiwifarms from Epik that stand to damage the reputation of Kiwifarms. But we're going to get into that as the first story in just a little bit. I won't dally too long. And we'll talk about that. That won't take a long time. And I'm going to do it right up front because I know there's a bunch of people on Kiwifarms who either don't care about this channel and my show at all because they focus on other shit on the farms, or they're on the farms and they don't really like me, which is perfectly fine. So I don't want to waste all y'all's time. You're welcome to stay. We have cookies and stuff. But if you don't want to watch the rest of the show, that's fine. I don't want to sit around. I know some of y'all are going to be here just for that segment. So it's right up front after this intro, and we'll get right into it. Then we're going to talk about Texas versus the feds as that's developing. Texas has blocked Customs and Border Patrol from actually accessing part of the Mexico-Texas border. Texas says, hey, you're not doing your fucking job. We're going to do your fucking job. And so Texas is putting it down. Now, Supreme Court has weighed in on part of that story. Not the part that's going on right now. Well, the part that's going on right now was cited in this decision. It's actually on an older case as the Texas versus federal government was spinning up in gear. It's now escalated beyond what this original case was about, but it might give some indication of where the Supreme Court will lie on this other case. But as we've talked about, it's not necessarily what the Supreme Court says that matters. It's more about how the parties involved react to what the Supreme Court says. So we're going to talk about that as we get into it. Then we got Fani Willis in the hot seat. She's facing 2 different depositions in 2 separate cases. One case is Fani Willis and her alleged lover's divorce. So Nate, whatever his fucking name is getting divorced from his wife. And the divorce has been developing for a while now. And Fani Willis is allegedly engaged in a romantic relationship with him during the pending divorce. Now, his wife is alleging that, I think he filed divorce papers. Ex-wife? I don't think they're done yet. He filed divorce papers, I believe, a day before he accepted the appointment as special prosecutor, and he kept it secret, allegedly, from her. So his defense in this whole thing is that, no, we have an irreconcilable differences, no fault divorce. They're going to just get divorced. But she's now saying, wait a minute. That was before I learned about this hidden income stream that was about to come in. He knew he's about to make a shitload of money as special prosecutor. It was kept secret from her and everybody else. So when she agrees to the no-fault divorce, she's not expecting he's about to make $600,000. Now he's taking in $600,000 in extra money. And she's like, what the fuck is this? You owe me half of that. You don't get to just make money. And then, so that changes the whole arrangement of the divorce is what she's alleging. Now she is deposing Fani Willis because she says that Fani Willis knows about Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade's his name. She says Fani Willis knows about Nathan Wade's extra income because she's the one who approves it and effectively hired him. So she knew about it. Fani Willis is trying to quash that deposition and saying that she has no information about the marriage because even if they were having an affair, because the marriage is being dissolved under irreconcilable differences as a no-fault divorce, her knowledge of the affair between her and Nathan Wade, which she would definitely have knowledge of unless she was dating Cosby, it doesn't matter. But it might matter. That deposition is actually being put on hold. And the other deposition about the same affair, but in Trump's case, is going to happen first. So we'll talk about that as we go. And then we've got just a wonderful fucking lawsuit to talk about. Oh, thank you, Thos Alman. corrected me. He says, actually filed the day after he was hired. So thank you for that correction. I want to make sure, always want to make sure to give as accurate of info as possible. Yeah, I thought I had read the day before, but day after. Perfect. Thank you. And so Mexico, the country, is suing a list of American gun manufacturers, the big ones that you know of, for $10 billion. $10 billion. Mexico is blaming the gun manufacturers for facilitating illegal gun sales across the border. Apparently, you can sue someone for illegally like you can sue an entity for illegally transporting guns across the border from Texas to Mexico. Please, nobody tell anybody about Operation Fast and Furious and Obama and Biden's plan to literally do exactly that. It's now on the gun manufacturers. $10 billion. Mexico is suing them for, saying that, oh yeah, the gun manufacturers and their facilitation of illegal gun shipments into Mexico, that is actually what's causing the crime and gun problems in Mexico. Now, there's a statute that protects gun manufacturers from liability for what people do with guns. But this has just been resurrected by an appeals court because it isn't about that. It's about gun trafficking outside of U.S. jurisdiction. Now, I don't know why the appeals court doesn't realize that Mexico is entering U.S. jurisdiction by suing these gun manufacturers, and therefore the statute should apply, because even though they're suing over an issue in Mexico, they should sue them in Mexico courts. That's what they should do, except the Mexico courts wouldn't have jurisdiction over American gun manufacturers unless they were specifically shipping guns into their country, except that's what Mexico's alleging, so it should be in a Mexico court, but it isn't, because it's an American court, because they probably wouldn't get shit in a Mexico court. It's an American court, and they're suing in Boston, of course. Why wouldn't they? And so they're now saying, this appeals court is saying, well, you know, maybe they're not under the protection of this statute that protects gun manufacturers because it's something else other than just, you know, people shooting people in Chicago or something stupid. It's actually that dumb that you need a special statute to protect gun manufacturers from, like, me taking a gun and shooting someone in the street. They had to make a special law for that. They don't have laws for that for everything else. Like, if you pick up sledgehammer and go smash a bunch of school children to death with it, you can't sue the fucking sledgehammer manufacturer. That doesn't work that way. You can't sue the Ford for Daryl Brooks driving through a fucking parade. But for some reason, everybody thinks you should be able to sue gun manufacturers for what people do with guns. And a lot of people are on board with this, but they usually get shut down because of this statute. Now, Mexico is entering the fray, $10 billion lawsuit. And you know the point of this, and you know why the appeals court brought it back, right? Like, you get it. We'll talk about why when we get to that segment. But anyway, kind of a topic-packed show. We're going to hit it. We're going to hit it hard. I was going to say I'm not going to say like a baby seal. We'll pick on something innocent. Baby seal. Before he had the scars on his face. That's how he got them. We're going to hit the topics. We're going to hit it hard. And then there will be a locals live stream after this. Yeah, thank you for being here. I love you all. Some of you. A couple of you. Just me. That's narcissism, baby. Okay, let's hit these super chats. Justin Credible says, did you listen to the oral arguments in the fisheries case and the no-fly list case? Thoughts on them, predictions? No, those are the Chevron cases, if I remember right. I did not listen to the oral arguments in them. I don't usually listen to oral arguments, but maybe we could do a listening party on them. My thoughts are Chevron deference is shit, and I hope they do away with it. And it seems like several of the justices are ready to do just that. But I don't have predictions. I just hope that Chevron goes away or gets severely kneecapped. Just Incredible says, posted a picture on your Twitter post about tonight's show that you'll appreciate. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I will look. I don't believe you, but I will look. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, damn it. Let me see. I might have to pull this up, so I got to get rid of my stupid messages. Where are we? Where are we? Speaking of cool stuff, I don't know if you guys saw, but in the fourth quarter of 2023, I was in Rumble's top 10 streamers, which is always awesome. Where the fuck is my... Where's my post? Where's my post? Oh, here we go. And that's pretty, I don't know, that's pretty cool because I did have kind of a rough fourth quarter as far as like getting to all of my shows. So still being in the top 10 streamers on Rumble was pretty fun. Looking to move up that list today. Wait, who are you? Just Incredible. Oh, wait, I see. You're Daryl McClanahan? No, that's not you. That's someone else. Is it this picture of Ryan Gosling as George Floyd? No, there you are. I bet it's this one. Saw this in the dumpster at my law school yesterday and immediately thought of you. Okay, here, we'll post this real quick. Good Lord. Good Lord. Yeah, that's where all the law books go. That's where all the law books go. In the fucking dumpster. They're decoration now. They're pointless. You know, if you're a new lawyer, you kind of look at it as like, do I want like a $10,000 to $15,000 wall decoration of law books to get a new editions of all of them? And no, the answer is no. But you might be able to procure a used set of them much cheaper because they're all just decoration on the wall. No one cares. Like, you're not going to go to the book. You just fucking pull up your Westlaw subscription or whatever you have, Westlaw, Bloomberg, or Lexis. You're not going to sit there and pour through a book when you have AI search tools at your fingertips. But anyway, yeah, they belong in the dumpster, and that's where they should go. Inspizia Videos says, please, Ricky, to give a shout out. I got laid off from my dream job as a web developer after 1 year there. Just last week, a friend that works there told me that he got laid off today. Monday and Tuesday is his last day. Well, guys, go check out Inspizia Videos. Dude just got laid off from his job. Could maybe use a little love on the YouTube front. Maybe there's an alternative career path in his future. Only he can make it, and only you guys can judge it. But go check it out. Go check it out. Don't know if I missed it, but doesn't the SCOTUS decision basically mean the feds overrule states' rights? Not necessarily, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. We're not there yet. Pacific Punch Monster. Not the best. Not the worst thing. Not the best. All right, let's see. We got Captain Dragon. I can't read that, dude. I can't read that on YouTube. It says drink faggot, drink faggot, drink faggot, drink faggot, nose gay, nose gay, nose gay, nose gay, nose gay, nose gay, drink faggot, nose gay, nose gay, nose gay, nose gay, nose gay, drink faggot, nose gay, faggot, gay nose. I can't read that shit on YouTube, Captain Dragon. Jesus. Why would you send that? Richard O-Team says, why are all your stories always of your wife taking a and someone thinking you guys swing? Can't be a coincidence. Wife taking a I don't know. I don't know if all my stories are of my wife taking a all my stories are me hanging out with my wife, pretty much, because I've been married to her for 20 years and kind of what we do. Kind of what we do. But other than that, I don't know. Dallas Guy 98 says, fuck Chevron. You said it just for me, huh? Yeah, just for you, big guy. Just for you. Okay, here we go. Let's do the first story. is, oh wait, no, the first story is Kiwifarms. That's right. See, I wasn't going to do Kiwifarms as my first story, but then I did get Kiwifarms on my first story. Where is this shit? Oh, God damn it. Where did I see this fucking post? Who sent this to me? You ever get the thing like someone sends you something and you just don't fucking remember where it was? Hold on. Hold on. Is this it? Maybe it's here. Just a minute. Okay, here we got the, thank goodness it's on the intro post. God damn it. Intro post here to the thread. So we'll read this in just a second. I'll pull it up over here. We have Richard O Team says, can you show us a clip of you confessing your love for Mandy? No, you could just go find it go find it on your own. Ashuria says, romp him, stomp him, rail him, kill him, kick him in the eye, and make him squeal. This is how we make our living, killing the baby seals. True. Chris Wolney says, bitch, we got matching noses. Nice. I'm always digging in it. Love your show. What happened to your unbreaded clip? I want to hear it. I stopped doing the unbreaded every day because it got really monotonous and repetitive. But we occasionally bring in, and I'll do like 3 pages in a row. Let's see. Matrix says, I had to stop membership due to losing my job over workers' comp, but I still watch and support you. Thanks, man. Thoughts on Donna Adelson trial? Election? I know I didn't donate enough for both answers. You're just fine, man. Don't worry about that. I have no idea who Donna Adelson is. The election, I mean, Trump's going to get the candidacy. If he doesn't get convicted of anything, he's likely to win, which is kind of crazy to say. Polls right now, they're alleging in polls right now that Donald Trump would lose if convicted of some crime. I don't actually buy that. I think if Donald Trump were convicted, depending on the conviction, he might actually get a boost in energy and motivation for the voting base. And if that happens, he might become an unstoppable force. I can't believe people would go, you know what? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump with all these accusations. I mean, I'm going to vote for him, but only if he's not guilty. I mean, if he's guilty, I'm not going to do that. Just doesn't really make sense with sort of the voting mindset that I'm familiar with from people. But hey, maybe. What is the latest on the unbreaded author? An interview would be Epik. It would be, but he's in a mental institution in Colorado. Okay. You don't think I want to cover any trials? No, I do. I want to cover the Courtney Clenny trial. That's the one I was going to watch next. I heard it got delayed. It was supposed to start in February. The problem with trials, as always, is I have a really busy schedule. And so if I'm going to do a trial, I have to get an estimate of how long it's going to be. Like, is it going to be 1 week, 2 week, 4 week, 5 week trial? And then I have to clear my schedule, which means my wife has to take on way more stuff than normal because I'm not there to help ever during the day with the trial schedule going on. It puts a big strain on the family life. So it's just really tough to do that. So I don't do it as much as some other streamers because I just can't do that all the time. But when it's a, funny enough trial that gets some attention, happy to do it. I really do want to do the Courtney Clenny trial. I think there'll be lots of funny opportunities for me and Bronca to make fun of that. Okay. Here we go. This is from Null, the operator of Kiwifarms.net. And here we go. This is a featured post. Epik LLC sees Kiwifarms.net, but I was able to get transfer codes back on December 13th. Here we go. This is Josh's post about this. We're going to go into this. Do I have to cover them live? Well, one, yes. I hate watching trial coverage that's already happened outside of like rare days. But two, there's still 8 to 10 hour streams, even if you don't watch them. But yeah, you got to kind of cover them live, because especially if other people are covering them, because people aren't going to come watch it again. It's weird. Anyway, you mean your wife has to actually do her job? No, you don't understand. One person can't do all of the transportation. It doesn't work. That's why we had to hire someone to help with it. The hard part of homeschooling 5 children, having them involved in a bunch of activities, because you homeschool and like you have certain things that you're good at, but then there are things that other people are good at. So you have them kind of do some supplementary education, is you have to get them everywhere. And as they all get older, schedules fucking collide constantly. Okay. Here we go. This is from Null. On December 12th, 2023, I opened the Kiwifarms via its primary domain at kiwifarms.net and received an SSL handshake error. I am very familiar with breaking the site and have seen this error many times when working on the front end, so I know it means one of two things. The web server is misconfigured to use HTTPS, or web server is properly configured but not using an SSL certificate for kiwifarms.net. Since I was not working on the forum, I immediately diagnosed this as a DNS issue and confirmed the AAA record had changed to just a TerraHost IP. TerraHost is a subsidiary of Kingdom Ventures, the owner of Epik. I again immediately assumed that Epik had parked kiwifarms.net to a corporate landing page, which would explain both the DNS change and the SSL error. If you're a nerd, you understand this. To be clear, TerraHost was not involved in this and is functionally independent of Kingdom Ventures Epik. Despite being a subsidiary, Epik had removed kiwifarms.net from my domain portfolio. A representative in chat confirmed that the domain violated terms of service. I later found an email about it. Notice of domain suspension and prohibited content violation. Dear Joshua, we are writing to inform you about the suspension of your domain name, kiwifarms.net, registered with Epik. The purpose of this communication is to notify you of the violation of your terms of service, specifically regarding the presence of prohibited content on your website. Ooh, very dangerous. Upon careful review with our legal team, we have determined that your website's content violates our published terms of service, which strictly prohibit the hosting or promotion of content that falls within the category of prohibited content. This policy is in place to ensure compliance with legal and ethical standards as well as ICANN rules. So not only hosting content, but promotion of content. We'll just keep going. Compliance with our terms of service is essential to maintaining a secure online environment for all our customers. That said, the domain has been suspended and removed from your account in violation of Epik.com's terms of service. Should you have any questions or require further clarification regarding this issue, please contact our abuse team at Redacted. Regards, abuse team, Epik. That is kind of funny. The abuse team, that can be taken a couple ways. Probably to the face, really. Here we go. SD Smosher says, Ricada Law, check congressional records for an interview I did with one of the gun stores caught up in the BS Mexican gun lawsuit. Play the video when you get to that part of the stream. How long is the video? I'll think about it. Okay, their abuse team has never clarified what part of their TOS we violated. Okay. To start with, I'm going to sympathize with Josh and pretty much anyone who's ever received a TOS violation. They never tell you. They never tell you. And they don't have to. But if they tell you, you can argue. You can say, no, these are your terms of service. You're saying I did this. This doesn't actually violate the terms. It makes it easier to sue. So they just don't tell you. They just say, we've determined it. You can appeal it. They can say, we reject your appeal. And then what do? I mean, you could try and sue it, but you have to find out what term you allegedly violated. You could always sue under the theory of, I didn't violate a term of service. And then, they'll effectively just come up with something that you may have done that's close enough to a term. And you're going to get into an interpretive battle and you're probably going to lose. Because at the end of the day, they can pretty much remove people for whatever reason they want. Terms of service just gives them a nice basis and guideline to do it. You don't actually have to have a terms of service violation to remove someone, because they typically have a clause in their terms that say they've reserved the right to remove whoever they want at any time. But they don't want to give you a term that you can have a court define and say that you didn't do the thing that they said you did. So they typically don't. But it does suck. It really sucks when that happens. I mean, that's what happened with me and Streamlabs. Yeah, Streamlabs banned me for violating their terms. And I'm like, what the hell did I do? And they're like, the thing. What the fuck is the thing? So here we go. To explain the history of Epik is difficult. The company is a shit show. Under the supervision of Rob Monster, they earned a strong reputation for pro-First Amendment. This ended with 8chan, when after January 6th, they decided to force 8chan to move their domains off the platform. Rob Monster was actually so traumatized by 8chan that he instituted a blanket ban on image boards across Epik, which I learned about through briefly hosting 9chan. This policy seems to still be in place. Because the Soyjack party's secondary domain with Epik was also seized the same day as Kiwifarms.net. The decision was extremely confusing to me. Okay, come on, Josh. Because Epik had enjoyed a hostile takeover from Brian Royce, a libertarian out of Las Vegas, who has a legally registered RPG7 in his office. I had received personal assurances from him that Kiwifarms would be safe on Epik. After bringing this up to the abuse department, they informed me that Brian was gone. Yeah, you gotta laugh, right? Not that this happened. You just gotta laugh at the image of Josh. Be like, but Brian told me we'd be safe on the platform. Like, it's kind of funny. He's sending a bunch of texts like, but Brian assured me. Brian, it's like the lady with the fucking headshot hair like this one, and then the thing at the back going like, but the manager said. The manager. The image is funny to me. I don't know about you guys, but you can imagine like, but no, I talked to Brian. No, I talked to Brian. They're like, got bad news for you, bucko. Anyway, Epik's corporation had been in chaos because they stole millions of dollars of domains from bulk buyers years ago under Rob's supervision, which is what caused Brian Royce to try and take the reins and save the ship. Epik, the domain registrar, was bought by a mysterious company recently registered called Epik LLC. Nobody seems to know who owns it by design. Epik LLC is different from Epik under Kingdom Ventures, and their new direction, it's a gay band, for the company seems to be stealing domains again. TerraHost is still owned by Kingdom Ventures. If this sounds like a shit show, it is. And there are hundreds of people in the industry who watch the Epik shit show, much like how we watch lolcows make videos about being married to Pokemon. This is interesting because, well, we'll just leave out the potential defamation of Epik. So in short, Epik is restructured and is no longer being managed competently, as it was only briefly under Brian Royce. Thanks to sufficient outrage, we were able to compel Epik to give us transfer codes, and now Kiwifarms.net is parked. Kiwifarms.net should continue to redirect to whatever domain we're on until I can get something going permanently. So these are the companies that kicked us off: DreamHost, Cloudflare, NameSilo, seized their domains. Epik, Key Systems, no thanks, Internet.bs, 2 cows, and I love www. Ideological radicals. Where's the defamation shit? God damn it. I was hoping it would be on this fucking post. So they're right now, they're at 1,000 votes for suing. And chipping in, they're at 650 votes for being broke. No, don't sue. No, but I'll chip in regardless. So most of the forum wants them to sue. I have to find the fucking post. I thought it was on here. Go to the front page, click the top story. Okay. Thanks. I'm fucking bad at navigating this site. Okay, here's the actionable defamation. Here we go. Found this. We got a couple posts to read here. Chris Wolney says, Nick, I hear IP law is mad money. What do you think? If you're on the right side of IP law, yeah, you can make a fucking fortune. Patent lawyers can make a ton. Absolutely. Stadia Production says, Nick, would you support a law that would force these platforms to provide an actual reason / proof for the ban instead of just you violated TOS? Maybe. The problem I have with it is it's supposed to be enforced as contract law, and it's an adhesion contract where you don't have any negotiating power with the company at all. So if you don't have a negotiating power, all the contracts are supposed to be read strictly against the company anyway. The basic principles of the common law should account for terms of service violations being read strictly against the company, but they're not. And that's stupid. Okay. That's stupid. But hey, I don't know. I don't like adding laws to anything, especially laws that are like limiting the choices of anybody, including companies. But I do think that there's a point where people rely detrimentally, to their own detriment on the terms of service. And then when they're just like, oh yeah, you violated terms and kick them off, I think you should be able to bring an action against the term, against the company and actually have it heard in court credibly. And I do think that the term should be read strictly against the company, not with blanket statements like, oh, we reserve the right to just kick anybody off for whatever. I think the basic principles of contract law just need to be applied. They're just not, because the judges use the internet too. Oh my God. Okay. Here we go. We've got the, here's the updated post. God damn it. There it is. So this is again from Null. This is yesterday at 5:43 p.m. Yesterday being actually yesterday. Epik LLC has made 2 claims on X. 1, they were forced to put a client hold on Kiwifarms.net by law enforcement, which we evaded by moving the domain out of the country. And 2, that the Kiwifarms, quote, hosts child porn. These are both false, and these are both instances of actionable per se defamation. Ooh. Why don't we have screenshots of these posts? Because Josh isn't quoting the whole thing here, so I'm guessing he's got summaries. Now, I'm not denying that what they say here is or that what Josh says they say is what's being said, but I really want to see the specific posts. I really want to see the specific posts that Epik LLC made. Maybe I can find them. It's on their Twitter. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, there's like a lot of Epik LLCs. Is this the one? I'm blocked from Epik LLC? Wait, what? How is that real? The fuck is this? Oh, that's Josh's account? Like, that can't be right? Like, why would they block me? This has got to be like a prank account. Probably ran a block list on anyone following Josh. I'm not following Josh. Blocked me. I can't follow anybody. Here, just a second. There's another one. Different Epik LLC domain. Okay, this is different one. Here we go. So this is domain management platform by Epik LLC. So this might be the official one. This is June 2023. Okay. This isn't real, I don't think. This looks like someone kind of trolling Epik LLC. That's what it looks like to me. I think. Maybe. I can't even tell anymore. All right. It doesn't matter. We'll find it. Let me. What the hell is going on? So it's a Dick Masterson posted it. See if we can get those tweets here. Hold on. Okay. But maybe I can open this in incognito mode. Okay, here we go. Here's one of them. Epik LLC says, yeah, we're not really into free speech. The old owners were. That's not our thing. We offer 25.25 over cost domain registrations, $9.99.coms initially and upon renewal. Did we handle your situation badly? Yes, 100%. You had child porn on your site. We're sorry. We have no agenda. But this isn't a response to anybody. Here's a knitter version that gets past any blocks. Okay, here we go. Pull this up. So here we go. Do not use Epik LLC for domain registration. They had to put a client hold without warning on 8chan and the Kiwifarms. When confronted on this, they lied and said they received a court order to do so. When confronted on that lie, they responded with this. So here we go. Epik offers 99 blah, 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 and renewals for any accounts with at least 50 domains. No coupons needed. Why'd you steal Kiwifarms from Josh? We didn't take that domain from the owner. We were forced to help the owner switch to another registrar by the U.S. authorities. I believe it is registered in Canada now. This is a lie. Send me documentation from U.S. law enforcement or retract this defamatory statement. I think you caught us. It was woke liberal employees here canceling you because they didn't like the hate speech on your site. Now, here's the thing. This is going to be a real fucking hard statement to prove as defamatory. So this is Josh's initial one, right? Let's just look at it, how it goes. So why did you steal kiwifarms.net from Josh? We didn't take that domain from the owner. We were forced to help the owner switch to another registrar by the U.S. authorities. I believe it is registered in Canada now. What's defamatory about that? Someone tell me what is actually defamatory about that statement. Does it accuse Kiwifarms of some illegal activity? Actually, no, it doesn't. It just says they were forced to help the owner switch to another registrar by the U.S. authorities. Why? We don't know. You could kind of get to an inference that there might be illegal activity, but what is it? And who's being defamed? This one, that LEO were involved, actually doesn't say LEO, it just says U.S. authorities. You can, I guess, say that it's law enforcement. You're getting really specific here. Now, I know everybody wants to think the defamation is like this easy thing. Like, well, of course it's bad. What's the falsity? Who's it about? Who is it about? Is it about Josh? Is it about Kiwifarms? Is Kiwifarms an entity? Is actually a really good question, isn't it? Okay, guys, the CP comment is comment 2. We'll get there. Calm your tits. I know. It's your favorite website or whatever. We'll get to it. Right now, we're on comment 1. This is comment 1. And Josh specifically says, retract this defamatory statement. But who's it defaming? I seem to recall a legal defense that Josh raised in the Russell Greer case. Help me out here. Does anybody remember one of the defenses Josh used in the Russell Greer case? Kiwifarms.net is not an entity. Right? Do you guys remember that? Kiwifarms.net isn't an entity. That was actually he was trying to get it dismissed or get Kiwifarms dismissed out of that case. It's not an entity. It used to be owned by like Lolcow LLC or something like that. There was some shell company, but it's not there anymore or hadn't been updated. So who's being defamed? Is Josh being defamed? We didn't take that domain from the owner. We were forced to help the owner switch to another registrar by the U.S. authorities. And what's a defamatory statement? Now, can you, you can try. That's going to be a hard statement to get anything on. That's all I'm saying here. Tough one. Very tough. Let's go to the next one. So here we go. Epik LLC replying to Lord Fleming. What do you want us to say? We have a bunch of woke liberals working here and they wanted to cancel Kiwifarms. We're not really focused on supporting free speech anymore. Just trying to be a good domain registrar. Same thing there. All the same things here. Applying to all these people. Okay, cool. Canned response. So here's the, we're not. So this is replying to Josh. We're not really into free speech. The old owners were. That's not our thing. We did offer 25 cent over cost domain registrations, $9.99.coms initially, and upon renewal. Did we handle your situation badly? Yes, 100%. You had child porn on your site. We're sorry. We have no agenda. Josh says, tell your new owners I will personally dedicate myself to destroying your business for this new and even more heinous lie. Now, Josh has a different... Okay, this different thing. So we're going to, or Josh is talking about this line here. You had child porn on your site. We have no agenda. Pretty strong claim, right? How did Josh characterize it? So, Josh, now maybe there's another comment, but here's this one, that the Kiwifarms hosts child porn. Yes, critical. Josh owns the domain and explicitly mentions the owner of the domain. What is the defamatory statement about the owner of the domain? Nothing. There's not a defamatory statement in that first one. This one, he quotes host child porn. Is there another comment that says that they host child porn? Because they said you had child porn on your site. Now, has Kiwifarms ever had child porn uploaded to it? That's not Kiwifarms choosing to host child porn. I wonder if Josh has ever talked about having to remove child porn from Kiwifarms. It's possible. Syrian fraud. That is what hosting is, Nick. It's not quite the same. If you host child porn, it's a more intentional thing. They just said you had it on the site. Might have been removed. This is where you're going to get into questions. Here's the biggest question. If you get Josh in a deposition, you say, has child porn been uploaded to Kiwifarms? Ever? Well, yeah, but I removed it. Okay, you had child porn on your site. That's going to be the argument. That's going to be a problem. Doesn't say you uploaded child porn on your site, protected it. He says hosts. He had it in quotes. That's not it. Maybe there's another quote. Let's go. Okay. Hold on. Let me zoom. Let me zoom out on this and find out if there's another comment. Good domain registrar. Yeah, I don't see it. Not seeing that one. Does anyone have that? Host is a technical term existing on their drives and transmitting it. Simple as that. Except it isn't simple as that. That's the funny thing about language, and especially defamation law. It's not that simple. They appear to be specifically accusing Josh of having it on there rather than another user. Do they? You had child porn on your site. Is that a factual statement? I don't know if it is. But the question you ask is, has child porn been uploaded to Kiwifarms? And yeah, that's a shitty technical way around saying something shitty, but welcome to defamation law. Welcome to it. If you have a weasel way out of it, there you go. You implies Josh, not another user. Yes, I know. But it says you had it on the website, not you uploaded it to the website. You're gonna have to you're gonna have a problem, because I'm pretty sure Josh is like, I don't know. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. And in fact, I would specifically state that if Josh has talked about it, I'm pretty sure it was in the context of having to remove it from being uploaded by someone else, which is a common problem for message boards, for anything really that gets uploaded. Like, hey guys, Facebook has had child porn on their website. Did you guys know that? Twitter has had child porn on their website. YouTube has had child porn on its website. Did any of those companies want it on there? No. Do they have teams trying to remove it? Yes. Is that a factual statement though? Yes. Is it defamatory? No, because it's true. It's true. That's what makes this case really difficult on the child porn claim. I would actually argue that hosts would be a stronger word, because hosts implies you're keeping it up. Had it on the website is past tense, doesn't imply or doesn't specifically state you do anything. And when you're dealing with the law and speech, the specificity of the speech gets really, really important. I'm being slimy scum, Nick. It's not difficult. It is difficult. Go fucking sue. It's like, try it. I'm not being slimy scum. I'm talking about the potential hurdles of this case. That's a tough one. And I just told you the exact reason is a tough one. If you get Josh a deposition and ask him if they've ever had child porn uploaded to the website, and he says yes, that statement becomes factual. I don't know if they have or not. I feel like I have heard Josh talking about it. I know he has in terms of 8chan, right? Because he had to create a specific board for these weirdos that kept uploading pictures and not have pictures available. He's talked about that. I don't remember or know, or I don't remember if he's talked to me about it, and I don't know if he's talked to anybody else about it. That's why I'm asking. Now, a bunch of y'all will be weird and get your fucking panties shoved up your asshole and be like, Nick hates Josh. I don't fucking care about Josh. I'm talking about the trouble with defamation law and how hard these suits are to prove, because if there's any truth to the statement, you got a big hurdle. Now, if the answer is no, they've never had any on there, you're getting close, you're getting better. But then they're going to, I mean, their argument will clearly be, we didn't say they wanted it on there. We said they had it on there. Obviously, if they've never had it on there, great. And Josh can argue that as the domain registrar, maybe they would have some specific knowledge or something like that. It's tough. These statements are worded in very asshole-ish ways. Now, is Epik LLC being good here? No, they're being cunts, obviously. But bringing this lawsuit will be expensive, and it'll be hard to win. Josh probably knows this. Does it mean he shouldn't do it? I don't care if he sues any. If he sues, it might have content, so go for it. It's not up to me, but there is a big hurdle here. As people get kind of wound up for it, always temper your expectations, because it's kind of tough on these two statements to prove defamation. If Kiwifarms has never, ever had child porn uploaded to it at any time, they get closer. And maybe they haven't. I have a hard time believing that. Now, as I say that, and a bunch of people spurting out happens, nefarious people can upload bad shit to your website. Really awful assholes can upload shit to your website. Doesn't mean you want it on there. It doesn't mean you have any way to prevent it from being on there. And you can try and make those arguments in court. You absolutely can. This is from a fresh account. Here's like their IP address, and you can do all the autism work and try and show it to someone who hates you. Again, tough. It's tough because technically it can be right. Again, I don't know if it's ever happened. Some of you know all the lore of Kiwifarms forever. The person who knows this answer would be Josh, right? Like Josh would know if it's ever been uploaded, presumably because he has moderating power. Go ask him. I can't. So I don't know. Josh, if you're out there, don't answer any questions from me. Jesus Christ, don't do that, Josh. That's a terrible idea to say it publicly if it's ever existed. That'll be a problem. But maybe it hasn't. If he can confidently say, no, we've never had child porn on there, or no, we never had child porn on there while Epik was the domain registrar. Cool. Closer to defamation. I have a hard time believing that, not because of Kiwifarms, but because any message board of a particular size runs into this problem at some point. So again, it's not actually a commentary on Kiwifarms, its users, or Josh. It's just the way the internet works. Weirdos fucking upload weird shit everywhere on any website that they can because they're fucking weird. So that being said, if Kiwifarms has had a fucking weirdo pedophile on there who's just like, let me upload a bunch of shit, even if they hate Kiwifarms, they're just doing it to take him down. You got a problem with that statement. And that's the issue that they're running into. Okay, let's get back to his post here and we'll wrap up this topic for too long. I know there's a bunch of Rumble rants that came in. We will get to all, and we'll also get to the YouTube super chats that came in. Because I think a lot of all of these, I think a lot of them are going to be related to this topic. So we'll get there in a second. Said that the Kiwifarms host child porn. This isn't the quote. And I actually think that this is a completely different statement. I think if they had written that they hosted child porn, I think that would be closer to defamation. I know you guys say host is a technical term that just means it was uploaded, but host to me implies, before you jump on my nuts for this, I am not a web developer. Neither are the jurors. Okay. And neither is the judge. So to me, as a lay idiot, host implies a more either active or affirming role in the content than was on your website. I'm not saying it's not the same thing. I'm saying, as someone who doesn't understand web development as much as you autisms do, I'm more like a juror, unless you get a jury full of web developers. Very unlikely in a case like this. So this is, again, like, if this is what you're saying here, and that's not the same word, you might run into some difficulty. Maybe not. These are both false, and these are both instances of actionable per se defamation. All right, well, the elements of defamation are that a statement was made by a defendant. The statement was false. The statement is about an identifiable plaintiff. It was made to someone else, and it was made with the requisite, it caused damage. It was made to the requisite degree of liability. If it is made about a non-public figure, it would be negligence standard. If it's made about a public figure, it would be to the standard of knowing falsehood. So actual malice is what they call it, but knowledge of the falsity or reckless disregard for the truth. Public figures have a difficult time proving defamation. It's possible. Johnny Depp did it. They have a difficult time doing it. It makes it a very hard suit. Kiwifarms, it's really tough. Kiwifarms isn't an entity, according to Josh. So who are they defaming? Are they defaming Josh? Is Josh a public figure? Maybe Josh made statements about Epik LLC and they responded to him. That probably makes him a limited purpose public figure. He entered the fray and they responded to him. So on this topic, I would think that would sway a judge towards limited purpose public figure, either for Josh or for whatever entity Kiwifarms is. I actually don't know who's bringing suit here. Is Josh bringing the suit? Is Kiwifarms bringing the suit? If Kiwifarms is bringing the suit, is it an entity? Because again, they argued that it wasn't an entity in a legal filing. which could cause trouble if they try to claim it is now. Because was it a lie then? Is it a lie now? Is there a change that it has become a legal entity because you created one? I don't know. I don't know the answers to these. I'm not saying one way or another. Who's the plaintiff? Who's the plaintiff? That's a good question. I think we should ask. But okay, who's the plaintiff? The damage of these claims is inherent in the claim, and they are already being parroted by adversaries for the purposes of trying to further erode our ability to find stability and sure footing on the internet. All right. So defamation per se will have to go. Did the judge tell them they were a legal entity? Incorrectly asserting something doesn't make it true. The judge telling them they're a legal entity doesn't make it true either. The judge refusing to dismiss Kiwifarms from the suit is weird because who are you going to collect from? Like, what is Kiwifarms? But either way, if they claim in a filing they're not a legal entity, incorrectly asserting something doesn't necessarily make it true, but it might make you having made a false statement under oath in your filing. In one of them. But actually, again, the judge saying that he's not going to dismiss Kiwifarms out of the other one, the question still remains, what is Kiwifarms? Like, who is the plaintiff? And I'm not sure. Again, I'm not accusing. Everybody mistakes asking questions about these lawsuits as some sort of accusation. There's no accusation here. I don't actually know. So he says, oh, here we go. Josh says Kiwifarms is a West Virginia LLC. So now we actually do have an entity here. That's interesting. So that must have been made after the copyright claims of Russell Greer, I would guess. Kind of want like that. I said it's interesting. I don't know if it means anything. That's an interesting development. So that answers that. I should have just read on. But I wanted to talk real quick about defamation per se, because people misunderstand defamation per se. You go, oh, it's defamatory per se, you're going to win. Defamation per se means one thing specifically, that the damages element of defamation is presumed. So in a regular defamation claim, the defamatory statement, you have to prove that something caused damage. All right? In a defamation per se claim, you don't have to prove that something caused damage because the accusation is so inherently damaging that it must have caused damage. When you get to the judgment phase, if you win, then you'll have to prove out how much damage was done for your compensation, basically for your compensatory damages. So if it's per se defamation, you have damages presumed, but you can only prove $1 of damages. That's all the damages that you get. Now that is sufficient to raise a defamation claim. Don't get me wrong. But it just answers that one element. It does not mean that the statement was false. It does not mean the statement was made about the plaintiff. It does not mean that the statement was made with the requisite degree of liability. Again, negligence or actual malice. If you miss any of those elements, you still lose. People mistake this because they say, oh, per se defamation means you're going to, means it's proven already. No, it isn't. A per se defamatory statement could still be true, for example, or it could be made with negligence. But if the defendant is a public figure or the plaintiff is a public figure, that's not enough. That'd be actual malice. If you don't hit those elements, you won't win, even if it's per se defamation. So I just want to clear that up because people tend to believe that per se defamation means you're going to win automatically. It does not. So here we go. Epik is a Wyoming LLC. X is a California LLC. I'm not sure why that matters, because I guess because it was made on Twitter. And Kiwifarms is a West Virginia LLC. To pursue this, I would have to find a lawyer in one of these jurisdictions. I don't know any. Actually, I don't think so at all. I think Josh's jurisdictional argument is completely incorrect here, and I'll tell you why. First of all, bringing it in California because X is located there is weird. I don't know why California would have specific jurisdiction over this claim, other than California and all 50 states would have jurisdiction over this claim, I believe, because it's against Epik, who, while Epik is a Wyoming LLC, Epik does business in all 50 states, right? I mean, I think that's obvious. Epik specifically sells domains to people in all 50 states. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't be under every state's jurisdiction. Maybe you'd have an argument that because they offer domains to anyone and everyone, that they don't specifically reach into a state for protection. But I'm going to guess if they've sold domains in any state, they're under the auspices of that state. That's going to be, I would think that pretty much any jurisdiction is going to be able to take this case. But the easiest jurisdiction would be Wyoming. Actually, where's Epik's home office? Headquarters in Sheridan, Wyoming. So they're organized in Wyoming and they're headquartered in Wyoming. Okay, so that's where they're going to stay. Wait, Epik was founded in 2009 by Rob Monster and is based in Washington State. What? Huh. Seattle area company helps fringe site Gab return in wake of Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. That was from 2019. So if they have an office in Washington State, they could be sued there too. But actually, again, I think they're not going to have a jurisdictional issue, but you would have the argument, which costs more money. The easiest would be to go after them in Wyoming, where they're registered as an LLC. West Virginia has jurisdiction. I mean, West Virginia wouldn't have any more jurisdiction over Epik than any other state. Kiwifarms being in West Virginia, Kiwifarms is the plaintiff, though. They don't have to, if they're suing Epik in West Virginia, they have to argue why they should be brought there. Again, I think Epik is probably doing business in every state and can probably be sued in every state, but it's the internet, so it gets kind of weird. But Wyoming, if Wyoming is their LLC, then that's the easiest state to show jurisdiction. Any other state, you might have an argument, but I really don't think it's going to be that much of a problem. 10 case trial is at least $75,000. However, they would be able to pay because they are a big company. And this would be an amazing step for being able to show providers, yes, we are legal. Yes, we are taking steps to remedy actionable defamation. To the contrary, non-actionable defamation would be weird. I've put up a poll. I'm already dealing with litigation, saving money for another case. Would the community itself actually want to finance legislation? And then I will find a way to get fiat working so you don't need crypto, but special crypto wallets can also be set up. Okay. So there's Josh's post about it. Again, let's talk about some of the hurdles. Who's the plaintiff? Is Josh the plaintiff? Is Kiwifarms LLC the plaintiff? It depends on if Kiwifarms LLC owns kiwifarms.net. If they do, seems like they're the plaintiff. Someone said you had CP on your website, implying Josh would be the plaintiff. I don't know if that's actually true. The statements are really vague. They don't accuse. Here's an interesting thought. Here's an interesting thought on this. Josh has talked a lot about 230, Section 230. Josh and I have talked a lot about Section 230. Section 230 insulates any website that has illegal content on it. So long as they make a good faith effort to remove content, they're insulated from liability for that content. Which is why websites actually do have the ability to have CP uploaded to them, for example, and have some time to reasonably attempt to remove it, and the companies are insulated from liability, even if they miss it and it stays up, like Twitter, right? We've talked about this a lot. If Kiwifarms has Section 230 immunity for having child porn on the website, Is it defamation per se? Which is actually a really good question. Hey, what's up, Legal Vices? That, again, that's a really interesting question, because per se defamation requires either accusation of a specific illegal activity or some sort of thing that occurs like within the scope of business that makes you, that would harm your reputation within your profession, or some sort of heinous disease, loathsome illness, or sexual impropriety. Basically calling women a whore. But if Section 230 gives you immunity from the illegal activity, is it a crime? I'd make that argument as at least partly if they were my client, right? That's interesting. What's the per se defamation here? They're immune. There's no criminal liability for Kiwifarms. On this, they have 230 immunity. This is a hurdle. Is it a slam dunk for Epik? No, of course not. But these are the types of hurdles that this case faces. So first off, who's the plaintiff? Is it Josh? Is it Kiwifarms LLC? Is it some other thing? I don't know. Is the plaintiff clearly identifiable from the comments? Would be a question. You had CP on your website. Is interesting. Does that mean Kiwifarms? Does it mean some other domain? Does it mean, like, it seems to imply that it's Kiwifarms. I think we can reasonably infer it's Kiwifarms, but do they have a weasel way out of that is another question you have to ask. The other one is just the statements themselves. Very vague. They don't point to, the first one doesn't seem defamatory at all. The idea that they, that U.S. authorities assisted them in moving the thing. I mean, that's a lie. I don't think that's per se defamation. I don't know that it's particularly damaging, but maybe. If it's ruled to not be per se defamation, he'd have to show how that specific comment was damaging to him, or damaging to Kiwifarms, I guess. Maybe he could. I'm not sure. But hey, that one's really tough. The child porn one is closer. But even that is not such an obvious defamatory comment, because it isn't host. It just says you had it on your website. That's tough. That's a tough case. The next thing, Josh is saying it's going to cost 75 grand. What's the recovery on this case? Is it more than 75 grand? I don't know. He would have to prove how much damage Kiwifarms has taken from the defamatory statements. That could be tough. Like, just for, again, if it's per se defamatory, you don't have to prove damages as an element, but you do have to prove them for compensatory damages if you get the judgment. The question is, will you make back the 75 grand, or are you standing on principle? Standing on principle is clearly important, and that's why crowdfunding this thing would be critical. Everybody's pitching in knowing maybe we're not going to get recovery other than the statement basically from the court that says this is false, and the person who did it's a piece of shit. That is definitely worth it for a website. It just sucks that you may not be able to recover actual money, but maybe they can too. I don't know what Josh can prove. I don't know anything about the numbers of Kiwifarms. So there you go, guys. There are some of the hurdles around this case. I really don't think the jurisdiction hurdle is a big one. Epik is a Wyoming LLC, but I really think you could probably sue in all 50 states on it, but it's going to cost, I mean, it's going to cost a fucking fortune to do the jurisdictional argument anywhere other than Wyoming. That's where it probably should be done. But yeah, I mean, good luck. Look, here's the deal. It really sucks that Epik kicked them off, the domain registrar, and talked shit about them in a way that might weaselly get out of being defamatory. It sucks when you get defamed, right? It's awful. And if they can weasel their way out of it, sucks for Josh and Kiwifarms. They got to make these considerations if they want to go to court. So that's that. I just don't think it's quite as simple quite as simple as Josh makes it out to be. But hey, it's up to him. Libel proof plaintiff doctrine. That's an interesting question by Will Reed. Ooh, I didn't even think about that right now. That is a really good question. So there is a doctrine of libel proof plaintiffs. Can Kiwifarms be defamed? Or Josh Moon, if he's the plaintiff? Can they? Can they be damaged by statements by Epik? Or are they so notoriously evil, for example, that no statements could possibly harm them? Now, libel-proof plaintiffs are really, really hard to find, okay? They're really difficult. I don't know that Kiwifarms or Josh are actually there. You're going to make that argument if you're Epik for sure. Like, wow, these are the worst people on blah, blah, blah. And you could bring up a whole shitload of statements about Kiwifarms from everybody on earth who's badmouthed it and try and prove that. I don't think they're actually there. I think they could show damage. I mean, they were web hosted. Now they're not. The statements seem to be being parroted, like Josh said, around the internet, making it hard for them to get service. If he has emails or anything saying, hey, the chatter about your site, we're not going to take it, blah, 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 blah. And he does seem to have a list of companies that have turned them down. That's going to show that they are damageable, right? I really don't think Kiwifarms is libel proof. I do think Epik would make that claim. Then get off your nuts and trash, Josh. I don't have any desire to, like, I'll laugh at some of the dumb stuff he does, but I don't hate Josh. He's a dork, but I don't hate him. I don't have any reason to trash him. And people still misunderstand all this. Anyway, I don't think Kiwifarms is actually libel proof. I don't think Josh is actually libel proof. I do think they have some hurdles in the case, but we'll see. Maybe they've got great ways around the hurdles. We'll be following it if it happens. All right, let's hit some super chats, probably around this website or around this topic, and then we'll move over to Rumble, and then we'll kick on with the show. The Green Skull says, as a Jewish lawyer, have you seen the original text of the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, and is it written on foreskins? Yes, I actually was tattooing it on them myself. So yeah, I've seen the original text. Benedict says, Nick, my friend thinks Rittenhouse should have been convicted on all charges, but she's only heard the mainstream narrative. Which point should I start with to better inform her? Just go play the clip where they talk about, like, they grabbed the gun. It's just that he grabbed the barrel of the gun. Like, that's the best one. Like, grab the gun barrel. He's trying to kill him. I don't know, man. The basic points of self-defense. Kyle Rittenhouse clearly defending himself the entire time. Didn't shoot anybody else. No stray bullets hitting schools or anything like that. Shai says, can I get a toast in memory of my baby brother who was killed 12 years ago today? My buddy Pat, who passed last week, and for our pup Archer, who will be crossing the Rainbow Bridge tomorrow. Thank you, Nick. Jesus, Shai. Yeah. A toast to your baby brother, to Shai's baby brother 12 years ago. A somber anniversary, hopefully becoming less painful as each year passes, with only good memories remaining. To Pat, who just died last week, freshly taken from Shai. May their memory live on, even though the wounds are fresh. And to Archer, a friend and companion who will be leaving very soon. Cheers to all of them. May Shai find peace and solace from the tragedy. Cheers. All right. Rumble rants. Here we go. We've got one from Killstream Live. Oh, what's up, Ralph? Killstream Live says Josh Moon hosted child porn on his site. It was of a teenage boy jacking off to porn. It's child porn. Kiwifarms, at least at one point, had child porn on their site. So there you go. That is from Killstream Live. I assume that's Ethan Ralph, but I don't know if he runs that super chatting account. So that is a claim there. I know nothing about it. If that's a claim that's out there and Epik is relying on that comment, that could pose a problem, a very big problem. Richard O. Team says, Nick, you are a snake. You're not to be trusted. Ask Schneider. You're quickly to betray people when it's good for you. Who have I betrayed ever? Yeah, dude. Okay. He says, Nick, when you betrayed Schneider, wait, what? How did I betray Schneider? Like a fag liberal because it would make you the good guy. Did it make you feel so good? I don't owe anything to Schneider. No relationship with him. I met him a couple times. You betray that guy. Okay. Richard O-Team says, Nick, when you lie and said Monty made someone kill themselves like it was done to you, does that make you feel good? You're a huge fag. I didn't say Monty made someone kill themselves. I said someone suggested to me that Monty and other people would bully people into killing themselves because they would target vulnerable people. That's what someone told me. I don't know anything about it. Then he says, a YouTube, here, play this, you fucking coward. Nah, I don't even know what that is. Richard O-Team says, you bitch ass, play the clip of what you said about Monty because it's not defamation. Go watch it. Richard O-Team says, Snake, how long have you been trying to call Josh a pedo? Like I said, you are never to be trusted. I don't think I've ever called Josh a pedo. Weird. But you can keep sending me money all day, Richard O-Team. Get it. Hans 1PK says, Twitter and Facebook have had child porn on site, but they still have domains. Section 230 protects them and the domain register. Correct. It does. But the domain register wouldn't have to keep Facebook or Twitter up. They're not required to. Hans 1PK says, who does Facebook and Twitter use for domain registration? I have no idea. Farms should use them. Then farms would be able to sue based on contract unequal enforcement as Facebook and Twitter have had CP. First of all, whoever hosts Facebook and Twitter is not going to host Kiwifarms. Second of all, unequal enforcement isn't a clause of action on this. Like, you don't. Waiver of enforcement on one contract does not mean that you waive your right to enforce on another. So that's not a way they could do that. Hans 1PK says it is not defamation lawsuit, but contract lawsuit. That's a good question. Unfortunately, like the terms of service contract angle is really, it's probably even harder than defamation. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. But the courts have not actually read adhesion contracts as adhesion contracts when it comes to terms of service ever. They should, but they don't. USSJ4 Broly says, if possible, would you mind letting us know how your frivolous lawsuit that was made to only cause you stress and harm? Life here is going on the up and up. Bless you and yours, brother. We're in a waiting pattern. I think we have a hearing next month on the appellate issue. Richard O-Team says, is Killstream live? Ethan Ralph? Didn't he jerk off on some sleepy lady? I have no idea. Did he? Ralph, did you do that? Hans 1PK says, is it contract law case, not defamation? Kiwi needs to establish what terms of service was at the start of the contract and look at all changes to TOS and see if Epik followed TOS fully. I mean, you can try, but you don't know what you're suing for, which is going to be a tough claim. Richard O-Team says, I can't remember. Did Ethan Ralph put his cock on a lady's face while she was sleeping? I don't know. Dear Lord. Richard O-Team, have you had your autism checked? I hear they do it anally now. Maybe you should go talk to a doctor about it. All right, guys, we are going to move over to Rumble right now. We've got a 25-second transition. After we do, I'm going to run to the bathroom for just a minute, and then I will be back. We will then go into the Texas versus Feds story, the Fani Willis and Mexico suing gun companies. If you want to follow us over to Rumble, and I recommend that you do, check out the pinned post on the chat or check out the link to the Rumble show in the description on YouTube. Love to have you here. Love to have you there. Click like on your way out, or if you hate me because I was so mean to the Kiwifarms today, click dislike. That'd be funny. Go for it. Love you guys. See you over on Rumble. Peace. Peace.